Hey guys, it is Aoife from Fred Weasley Died Laughing, and I'm here to do the fall time cozy time tag, and I was tagged by a simple cup of tea, and the original tag creator was Sam at Novels and Nonsense, and she created the tag last year, and I will link everyone down below. So I guess for me this tag is really autumn time cozy time, because for me I say autumn, I don't say fall. It's just really strange to hear people call it fall all the time because it's just wrong in my head. It's autumn. But yeah, so I'll just get on with the questions and I will give you my answers. Crunching leaves. The world is full of colour. Choose a book that has red, oranges and yellows on it, just like autumn. And I have gone with Blind Beauty by K.M. Payton. This book is actually one of my all-time favourite books. I first read it when I was quite young. I was about 12 or 13 at the time. I could have been younger. I got it from the library, and I think I got it like 2 or 3 other times from the library, and eventually I ended up being able to get my own copy for quite cheap on Amazon a couple of years ago, and I just adore this book. It is about a girl who has kind of not a great family life. Her mum is married to a man who isn't very nice, and she ends up starting working in this kind of rundown racing yard with horses that is near her house, and she ends up getting this amazing connection with this one horse called Buffoon, and it's kind of how she really kind of comes out of her shell, and she really starts to find herself as someone who wants to work with horses and for someone who loves horses, and it's just about this amazing connection that she has with this horse, and she'll do literally anything for him, even though she actually doesn't own him. So it's just an amazing, great horsey story, and I absolutely love it. And if anyone is looking for great horsey stories to read, this is definitely one because it's amazing. Number 2, cozy sweaters. It's finally warm enough to don warm clothing. What book gives you the warm fuzzies? Well, for Ireland, our summer isn't actually great, so I was actually wearing jumpers all summer, but I actually just got this amazing coat literally earlier on, about 2 hours ago. I bought this, I saw it, I had to get it, and this is going to be my new amazing winter coat because it is just so cozy, you have no idea. And it's this lovely kind of burnt orange colour, and I think this colour is like really autumny, so I'm just so happy to have it. But the book that gives me the warm fuzzies, let's not talk about my jacket anymore, let's talk about the books. And the book that gives me a warm fuzzies is definitely Everything by Nicola Yoon. This book just made me go all gooey inside. I absolutely adored it. It's just such a cute love story, such an amazing little friendship between these two people that ends up growing into romance. I just love everything about this book, and if you haven't read, I'm sure everyone knows better at this stage on BookTube, and if you haven't read it, you really should because it's so good. Fall storm. The rain is pounding and the wind is howling. Choose your favourite book or genre that you love to read on a rainy day. And I think for a rainy day, a really good book is always going to be a fantasy book. I just think fantasy books are amazing. They just have so much... There's just so much of everything in them, and then a lot of the time they're often in lands that are also a little bit cold and drizzly, most of the time, not all the time, with great adventures through mountains and forests and whatnot. So I think it's just really great when you're stuck inside and then you're transported to all these amazing lands and amazing scenery. So I have chosen Lord of the Rings for one. Lord of the Rings is just such an amazing journey and adventure, and I think it's the type you could like just get stuck into any of the books in Lord of the Rings on a rainy day, and just, you know, you'll be completely happy with how your day goes because you'd have had loads of adventures with Frodo and Sam and Gandalf and all the other people in this, I think, definitely. And then another book would definitely be something along the lines of Aragon and the Inheritance Cycle, because this again is just a really great fantasy for children and adults, and I think everyone would love it. And any of these books, they're just quite large. All of the books are pretty big, and they just would be really good for a rainy day where you've nothing else to do. Cool, crisp air. Who is the coolest character that you would like to swap places with? I had to really think about this question because while a lot of characters are cool, they don't necessarily live in a world that like I would want to live in. So I've actually ended up going with Serafina from Deep Blue by Jennifer Donnelly. And Serafina is actually a mermaid, and she is a princess mermaid. And I love mermaids, and I always wanted to be a mermaid. So I would really love to swap places with Serafina and become like a mermaid for a day. I think that would just be amazing. When I used to go swimming when I was younger, I always used to like go down to the bottom of the pool and like just pretend I was a mermaid, and I was always so sad when like I realised it wasn't true. But I adore mermaids, I love everything about them, and I would just love just love to be a mermaid. That would just be amazing. Hot Apple Cider. What underrated book would you like to become the next big thing? And a book I read recently I think really needs to get a lot of attention, and it is Because You'll Never Meet Me by Leah Thomas, which is about two boys who live in different parts of the world, and one of them is allergic to electricity and the other has a pacemaker and is also blind. So they can never meet up. They become pen pals, they become best friends, but the thing is they'll never be able to meet each other because one could end up killing the other and vice versa. And it's just an amazing book. It's about two boys growing up with these illnesses that have really kind of held them back, and they've got a very different personalities as well. One is quite outgoing and the other isn't, and one is very cheerful and the other isn't. And they kind of egg each other on and help each other through their problems, and they really make like really progressive kind of, they just really grow as characters through this one small book. Their personalities really grow, and it's just such an amazing book, and it really I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It was amazing, and for all the hype that Everything by Nicola Yoon has had, I think everyone that loved Everything should go and read Because You'll Never Meet Me, because I think there's no way that like a majority of people wouldn't love it, because it's a little bit similar, except it's not immersed in romance, it's immersed in a friendship, and that's that. And the whole thing again is told through letters, through the boys' letters to each other, and it's just amazing. I just really love that story, and I think that it needs a lot of attention, and I'd love it if everyone started to read it because it deserves all the hype that it can get. Coats, Scarves and Mittens. What's the most embarrassing book cover that you'd like to cover up? I don't own a lot of embarrassing book covers, mainly like I don't really own a lot of the new adult or the real kind of paranormal books, which often tend to have steamy or kind of embarrassing book covers. The kind of steamiest book covers I really have are like the Nicholas Sparks covers, which aren't very steamy at all. But there's one cover that I hate, and I can't find it, it's over here, and I just don't like it, and it's because it's the movie cover, and I don't know what happened to my original. I did have a different copy of this book and it just disappeared, and I have no idea where it was, and that copy was really pretty, and it really annoys me. But I wanted a copy because I couldn't find my old one anywhere, and I ended up seeing this in a book sale, and I was like, it's only like €1, so I'm going to get it. And it's Sense and Sensibility, but it is the movie cover with Kate Winslet and Emma Thompson, and I just don't really like it. Yeah, I just think it's really ugly, and I hate it. And all my other classics are all in, a lot of them are the Wordsworth classics, which they all have the small black spines and they're very all neat and tidy, and that I kind of keep them all together. And then I just have this one, which is like completely different and a bit damaged, and yeah, so, but this is my favourite Austen book, so I just really wanted a copy of it, so I had to kind of swallow my feelings about the ugliness of it and just buy it because I absolutely adore this story. Pumpkin spice. What is your favourite fall/autumn food for comfort? I really don't get the whole thing about pumpkin spice. That is just, I don't really think it's a thing over in Ireland. I think some people get it, but generally we don't eat pumpkin at all. Pumpkins are literally just for carving on Halloween, but we'd never have pumpkin pie or pumpkin whatever, anything, pumpkin stew, I don't know. We don't really have it. The only time I see pumpkins in the shop is for Halloween for carving. But again, I think the only kind of fall time food I would drink or eat is kind of like hot chocolate or chai tea latte, and generally I would drink them all year round anyway because I don't actually like coffee. I just like tea, which is like Irish tea with milk in it. So if I'm meeting friends, I would normally like either get a tea or get a chai tea latte or a hot chocolate when they all go and get coffee. So it's just easier for me. I just really don't like the taste of coffee. I like the smell of it, just not the taste. Warm, cozy bonfire, spread the love. I am not actually going to tag anyone because technically it's not autumn anymore. It's winter now, it's November. I was just a little bit late doing the tag. So I guess if you want to do it and you're watching it, please go ahead and do it and let me know if you have done it because I will want to see. And if not, then I will just wait for your guys' videos next year and we will keep spreading the warm fall autumn coziness. And thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys again next time. Bye!